Wrestling fans, promoters, wrestlers, and anyone who enjoys pro wrestling now have something new to be excited about. The Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA, is back. WFIA is an association that exists to promote, grow, and support professional wrestling throughout the world. Membership is free. Your membership includes a free digital bi-monthly publication of the Wrestling Fan News newsletter, association updates, voting privileges, and much more. Please go to thewfia.org, that's THEWFIA.org, and become a member today. Welcome to another edition of Bumps and Thumps, the talk of wrestling. I'm Brian Ferguson. My guest today is a rising star on the independent circuit. He is currently one half of the Mid-States Wrestling Tag Team Champions, known as the Fraternity, with the Arial American, Alan Jefferson. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Cannonball Mathews. Cannonball, thanks for coming on today.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I've been looking forward to it.
I have too. You know, a few weeks back, I had your tag team partner on here.
Fantastic, by the way.
Yeah. Very, very interesting young man, and I'm sure we're going to find out a lot about you.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you on your tag team championship when you beat Toxic Masculinity. A few weeks back there at the Relics. It was a good match. I was there.
Thank you.
And I was really impressed with both of you. So if we could, sir, I would like to kind of go back a little bit and talk a little bit about where you're from, growing up, schooling, and things like that. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would, please.
Yeah, no, I was born here in Springfield, Missouri, and
Okay.
I was raised in a little truck stop town called Stratford. I went there from preschool to high school. I'm an only kid, and I played football and I watched wrestling. And growing up, my earliest memories of wrestling is watching it with my dad. My mom didn't want me to watch it a whole lot, and I'd wait till she fell asleep, and then I'd crawl up, and me and my dad would watch it together a little bit. And yeah, from there it just me and my dad watching Raw every night, and just kind of getting into it, and it was a real fun time. Around
Yeah.
seventh grade, I really started focusing on football. How I got into wrestling is kind of a crazy story. And when I started about seventh grade, I started really focusing on football, and I didn't I followed wrestling, but I didn't watch it a whole lot. And so I was a big football kid, and I played football throughout high school, and I ended up going to college to play college football down in Iowa Wesleyan.
Okay.
And I was always a theater kid too. I did theater, choir, show choir, all types of dancing and stuff. And the school told me they're going to give me a bigger scholarship if I do choir. I had no intention of doing choir going into college, no intention at all. And I end up going, and at this point, I'm kind of following wrestling on Instagram, but I'm not watching it. I'm not quite in love with it like I used to be. And I I meet this kid named Cody, and we're in the same choir class, and we sit next to each other. And finds out he likes wrestling. Well, I like wrestling. He likes wrestling, and so we start talking about it. And one night we start kind of joking, like, "Dude, what if we just go to wrestling school? What if we just drop out of college and go to wrestling school?" And it kind of started out as a joke, and we used to go to this like abandoned track place, and they had those big track mats, and we were just like suplexing each other and doing all these moves to each other, joking about it. And one day I was home from college, and I went to a WWE show here in Springfield, and I met Jason Jones, and he was handing out flyers, hustling like he does. And
Yeah.
I started looking on the website, and it said train here, and from there I knew, all these jokes are about to become a reality. So that's how I kind of got into wrestling.
Wow. Hey everyone, this is Brian Ferguson. Fans of the AWA, you are in for a real treat. My friend Joyce Poston has just released her book titled My Ringside Seat to the AWA. Joyce writes about her personal experiences with wrestlers such as Nick Bockwinkel, Lord Alfred Hayes, Baron Von Raschke, and others. Joyce also has published many photos from her collection that you will not see anywhere else. Order today by email at joyce.poston@gmail.com. Payment is through PayPal. The book is only $20 plus $6 shipping and handling. International orders, please email Joyce for shipping charge. Folks, run, don't walk to your keyboard, and order today. And enjoy the podcast. That's pretty cool. That's a very interesting story. That I gotta tell you, I know people probably can't. You're a stout young man. You're very
Thank
stout. You're
you.
big, but you're not. You're not heavy. You're just very stocky and
Hmm.
built.
Thank you.
And I told your tag team partner, I don't know if you watched it, but I said you two remind me of Chad Gable and Otis. You know,
I do not know how many times we've gotten that.
I know, but that's not a bad thing because
No,
those
I mean,
guys,
if I'm, well, I'll be happy to be compared to them any day of the week.
yeah. And so you did your train. Talk about the training you did with Jason. I mean, Jason uh, is a serious as far as the business. He's
Hmm.
serious. It's all professional. He's he ain't gonna mess around. So talk about the training. Like the first time you went down there to Arkansas to do your training.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna go down there, and I thought I was just gonna be some superstar. I played football. I thought I was athletic, and I took that first bump, and I got to tell you, I everything changed in an instant. It hurt. It didn't feel good. And it wasn't what I was expecting. But at the same time, I knew I loved it as soon as I did it.
Yeah.
And the training, man, he's JJ. JJ expects perfection,
Mhm.
and a good saying that we all live by is nothing's ever going to be perfect, but we're not going to be close if we don't try. And
Yeah.
that's something we all really strive for is
Mhm.
the minute details. That's something I'm grateful for. Is he's so careful about these minute details that don't seem to matter, but when you add them all up, they make you hands and feet better than you can even expect.
Mhm. I was gonna say, Niles. Do you train with
Hmm.
Niles? I've heard from numerous
Hmm.
wrestlers that mid states, new breed, whatever. When they train with
Hmm.
Niles, it's 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 like a clinic, and you guys just really learn a lot. Is that your experience as
Definitely.
well? Yeah.
Definitely. Any chance I get to go train under Niles, any seminar he holds, anything I get to, he is such a man of knowledge. You can just hanging around him, you can just soak up so much information. And so getting the opportunity to be around someone like that is just such an opportunity any wrestler, young or old, should jump to, because no matter what, he has something to teach you.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so how long have you been in the business? I've got to ask you.
I've been training for about 3 years, 3.5
Okay.
years. Been working two
Okay.
years.
So in 3 years, you've acquired the tag team titles
Hmm.
from Toxic Masculinity. Where else have you worked any other promotions around here? I know there's like New Breed and the
Hmm.
Kansas City area.
I go all around. I got my twin brother, Deadeye Dawson, doing his thing over in Tulsa, Oklahoma at
Hmm.
WFC. I've been going up to Iowa. I have to plug Absolute Pro Wrestling up in Waterloo in their area. They've been doing some good stuff. I'm going to Jonesboro this Saturday. I mean, I go all over the place.
Yeah.
Did you ever wonder what could have been with the AWA had things gone differently? Had their fortunes gone differently? Had certain wrestlers not left and perhaps more money would have been at the disposal of the Gagnes? Well, wonder no further. You can go to Brad Drake's YouTube channel and experience the 1987 Supermod for yourself, as Brad Drake starts off in May 1987 along with Greg Gagne, Baron Von Raschke, Vern Gagne himself, Nick Bockwinkel, Larry Zbyszko, Kurt Hennig, and a slew of others as he plays and saves the AWA.
Staying busy.
Oh, have to. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you this. How did you come up with your name of Cannonball Mathews? Let's hear the story.
Well, my original idea was I was gonna go by Austin Matthews. And
Okay.
I was just kind of kicking it around, and I was at training one day, and I forgot who told me, but it's like, Tristan, you look like a cannonball, and I'm like it clicked. It just kind of clicked in my head, like Cannonball Matthews. I like
There you
that. I'm gonna go with that. So it was just
Yeah.
kind of some help from my trainers.
There you go. Okay. And let's talk about your tag team, the Fraternity.
Hmm.
Uh how did you guys get together?
Hmm.
And you guys, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and I told Alan the same thing. You guys have such chemistry for being
Hmm.
together such a short period of time,
Hmm.
um, that it's pretty incredible actually that you do this. Tell me a little bit about
Hmm.
how that works for you, how that all came about.
Well, me and Alan, we've known each other for a whole, he was there the first time I started training.
Okay.
Me and him used to carpool together. Me and him's gone on multiple road trips. And me and
Mhm.
him's always kind of kicked around the idea of like teaming up together. And we had
Mhm.
just never gotten quite the opportunity had never arose. And so kind of this chemistry and stuff has always kind of been there. And now being able to officially kind of be together and like work together and put our minds together, it's been fantastic. I mean, it's unlocked another level in my career. I feel personally. Every time I'm in the ring with him, he pushes me to be a better wrestler, and he makes me better, and I feel like I make him better. And
Yeah.
this that chemistry with him is just something unmatched, something I haven't felt with anyone else.
Yeah. I also told him you guys might want to team with Stephen E.
And hey, if he has our number, we're doing our own thing, he's doing his own thing, but
Yeah.
if our
The
if our
manager.
path,
Yeah.
hey, we're always down for business.
The manager of champions. I mean, that's his slogan, right? I
Hey,
mean,
he knows where he can find us.
there you go. Wrestling for a Cause out of Tulsa.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, Great promotion.
Hmm.
Tim Rockwell runs it.
Yes.
What's your experience with them guys? I mean, I know you got the Justin Lee down there and some other
Hmm.
talent. What's your experiences down there like in Tulsa for you?
It's a different culture and a different style, and just being
Mhm.
able to just go down there and meet with people that just accentuate what Oklahoma wrestling is, and just
Mhm.
and especially being for WFC, it's such a good promotion. It
Mhm.
stands for such a good cause, and so everyone there has a really good cause, and it's just the understandings of wrestling. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love being down there with those guys.
Yeah. You say you watched WWE with
Hmm.
your dad. I'm sure you probably watched some of it now, probably some AEW.
Hmm.
Jason Jones, I know is old school mentality.
Hmm.
So is Craig. and those
Mhm.
guys. I'm sorry, Niles. Excuse me.
Mhm.
But do you like that old school style? Because you're a pretty young guy. You're in your
Mhm.
20s.
Mhm.
Probably didn't really, and I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm saying that you probably didn't see a lot of the old school stuff unless you went on YouTube or something and watched it.
Mhm.
Do you enjoy that, or would you rather, you know, high fly around? I mean, you're pretty athletic for
Mhm.
a big guy. You are. I mean, I've
Mhm.
seen it. You're pretty athletic. So
Thank you.
do you think that uh, old school mentality helps you more? Hello, everyone. This is Brian Ferguson, the host of Bumps and Thumps, the talk of wrestling. I want to tell you about a new podcast out called Falls Count Anywhere. It is a classic pro wrestling podcast that brings you the legends of wrestling with true wrestling fans Chris DiCarlo and Charlie Turner. They bring on guests that are legends in this business, as well as wrestlers of today, promoters, referees, you name it. They have them on there, folks. And I encourage you to listen to them. If you're on YouTube, watch them. They drop every Saturday. They have their podcast. They drop it in the afternoon. So look forward to that podcast coming out. Falls Count Anywhere podcast with Chris DiCarlo and Charlie Turner. Folks, you will not be disappointed. I guarantee it. And enjoy the podcast.
I mean, I like to keep up with the times, so like I definitely like keeping up with like the new matches and stuff. But
Right.
I personally gotta say, if you ask what my favorite matches are, they're all gonna be old school matches. I love I have a deep appreciation for those old 80s, 90s, old school matches.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally have to say that's my favorite type of wrestling. But I go through phases, but
Mm-hmm.
typically if I'm gonna sit down and watch some wrestling, I've been watching some nitros right now, some old 90s AJPW. I mean,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
old school stuff, that's
Yeah.
my personal favorite.
Yeah. No, I loved the Monday Night Wars when they had them.
Hmm.
I know it was a lot, but it was that competition that
Hmm.
I wanted to switch back and forth the television channel from the WWF to the WCW,
Hmm.
and it's a little bit now. Wrestling. At Monday Night Raw, you have uh, AEW, was it Rampage, I
Hmm.
believe it is, and Collision and SmackDown, and so you still have
Hmm.
that variety, but I don't. I kind of wish they would have just one night a week where they're in competition
Hmm.
and see what happens. So
Hmm.
you've been around for a few years.
Hmm.
Promotions that are. Let me ask you this: a wrestler that you, besides your tag team partner, that
Hmm.
you've really enjoyed working with, either as an opponent
Hmm.
or as a tag team partner, besides the Arial American, who would that be, and kind of give us a little background on that.
Well, I have to shout out my past tag team partner, Wrangler Rhett. He was my twins tag partner over in Oklahoma, and getting to know him, he introduced us into tag team wrestling. Kind of a lot of the stuff we did together is really spilt over into what we're doing
Mhm.
now. And
Mhm.
as long as favorite opponents, I have to go with Gary Graham.
Gary Graham.
Anytime I step in the squared circle with him, he
Yeah.
he teaches me something new. And once
Yeah.
again, he's one of those people that are just a wealth of information, and just spending a little time with him in the ring, you're gonna learn so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Gary Graham. I had him on not too long ago as well, and
Hmm.
he is such a great guy, and he's such a, how do you say, I don't know. He's been around for a while. He said he had kind of, it took him a little while to get in his groove.
Hmm.
Uh, but he is kind of like Luke Langley.
Yeah.
You're right now. He's the mid-stage champion,
Yeah.
and those guys, for you young guys especially, are just
Mm-hmm.
so. All right, I'm going to ask you another one. Other promotions you've worked for besides Mid-States, I mean, we talked about that a little bit, but I'll just say, what's one other promotion that you really enjoyed or have enjoyed working for besides the Mid-States and the WFC?
Do you ever wonder what would happen if, well, if
you give a dad a podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Just settle this debate right here, right now. It's not even just the greatest PlayStation game. It's the greatest game ever.
Not to toot my own horn, but
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember he kicked me so hard I thought I owed him money.
I love it. I'm excited for this one.
He goes, "What is your name?" And I was like, "It's Thrash."
getting punched in the face on the daily.
Man, this guy won't shut up.
I wear that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, I got knocked out cold in that match. It was awesome. So awesome.
We make dogs sing.
Do you always do these interviews with your shirt off?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
So now we've been filming for the last 6 months.
I panicked.
Followed by.
Bro.
If You Give a Dad a Podcast, available everywhere podcasts are found.
I really have to shout out Absolute Pro Wrestling once again up in Iowa. I've been up there once. I'm going back 2 more times this year, and just that's what they going on is real. They have some really good stuff going on. They have some, really good talent up there, and it's a new style. It's a new crowd. Going up, I didn't know anyone, and I didn't know what to expect, and I was just absolutely blown away with what they have up there. And so if anyone's up in Iowa, Waterloo, around that area, check out Absolute Pro Wrestling. They have it going on.
Awesome. All right. Saturday, August 12th, coming up for you.
Oh,
rematch, Toxic Masculinity. Johnny Lightning and Johnny Dynamite.
Those names make me sick.
You had a very good strategy on your last time when you won the titles. You did some tactics that were questionable. However, they were effective and they worked. I don't want you to give us your strategy or anything, but I would like to know, kind of going into this, are you really, I mean, I know you expect to win, but, are you ready, I guess is the word, and are you coming out guns a-blazing?
Well, we have the best coaches at Better Than You University, and me and Alan Jefferson have been in this film room. We have been in the weight room, and we have been studying our butts off. We know how much of a challenge they are, but however, we are prepared to do whatever it takes to keep these tag championships around our waist. And so they can come with all they got, but I can promise you we're going to be ready for whatever they throw at us.
Yeah. I want to ask you this. Last time there was a little war there on social media. I saw some interesting posts. Are we expecting something maybe like that again coming up here? Because it's coming up pretty quick.
I don't know if Johnny Twitter fingers can keep his hands off his phone. We might be cool, but it's really up to him. I'm not, if he's gonna fire some shots, I'm not gonna stand around, So let's see what happens.
Yeah. I am looking forward to it. August 12th, Relic Center in Springfield. I am really excited about it. Yeah, I mean, last time you guys were there, I'll be honest, you guys probably had the best match of the night.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that because you're on here. I'm saying that because you guys come out guns a-blazing, did your business, and came out victorious. And there's some other good matches coming up. Sam Stackhouse is coming back in and facing Luke Langley. What do you think about that? I mean, that guy, he's a big fella, but he can move. So give us a little bit of insight on what you think about that.
I mean, being on the card with Sam Stackhouse, obviously people love Sam, and I think it's one of those kind of elements of like competition. Everyone kind of wants to go out and like have that match, go out and have the match of the night, and when Sam's coming to town, you really have to know you gotta do everything you're gonna do. You have to be on because he's gonna be bringing it, and everyone else is gonna be bringing it. So you can't call it in. It's time to give it everything you got when the light goes green.
Yeah, that card looks phenomenal. You guys against the Johnnies. Let me ask you this, and I know you beat them and everything, but have they probably been one of your toughest opponents? You had the with the sign up for when you guys got screwed out of your title shot last time. Before that, have they been probably one of your tougher opponents, you think? I mean, just honestly, I see a lot of chemistry there between the four of you.
I would have to say so. Yeah, the Johnnies are resilient. We hit them hard, and I have to give it. They always come back. They always seem to keep fighting. So that they are a resilient team. So yeah, I have to say they've probably been our toughest opponents we had because we know them like the back of our hands, but in the same token, they know us just as well. So coming at it, we both know what's coming next, and it's always a battle, and it's always going to be a war when it comes to the Johnnies.
Yeah, it is. It's a great feud. I absolutely, I'm looking so forward to it. I want to ask you one more question. And that is, you talked about going to Iowa. What are some other events that you're going to be coming up with in August and maybe early September that you coming up?
Yes. Like I said, I am going to be in Springfield August 12th to fight the Johnnies. I am going to be in Waterloo, Iowa, I believe, that next weekend on the 19th. Come see me. It's going to be a banger. And at that point, that's kind of all the shows I know of at the moment. But my calendar's filling up quick.
Yeah. Hey everyone, this is Brian Ferguson, the host of Bumps and Thumps, the talk of wrestling. I want to talk to you today about my friends over at Superfriends Signatures. These guys have all kinds of wrestling products, past and present. They sell action figures, autographed pictures, you name it, they have it. My friends David Harrow and Brian Koenig, they are the real deal. Go to their website today, superfriendsignatures.com, or go to their Facebook page, Superfriends Signatures. Check them out, folks. You will not regret it. They have great prices and great deals on all kinds of products. And every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, they have an auction online at their Facebook page. So please check it out, Superfriends Signatures today, and enjoy the podcast. Great. That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Cannonball Mathews, August 12th, Springfield Relic Center, Springfield, Missouri. Don't miss it. As I said, don't walk to your keyboard and get those tickets for that event because they sell out. I will say, every time I've been there, that place sells out. You got to get your tickets online. If you go that night, you're probably not going to get in. They've been sold out.
Yeah, Springfield's a different energy. It's a whole different beast. It's an experience. Anyone I've had come, they've all told me it's something like they've never experienced. And I've had people come up.
Go ahead.
I've had people come up. Not a little hesitant coming to the first time, and by the end of the show, they've already told me they've got tickets for the next show. So, I promise you, it's going to be something to watch, and it's going to be something to remember.
Yeah. I also want to tell folks that, you guys are so professional
Mm-hmm.
You know, outside, as far as like during the venue time when they come up to you, you want to take a picture, you want, you know, talk a few minutes. You guys aren't going to snub them away. You're not going to pressure them to buy your stuff. And that's one of the really great things I really enjoy about going to your guys' shows is that there's no pressure.
Yeah, no. I feel like it's a very fan oriented, show. From the minute they walk through those front doors, we wanna give them everything we have, even from signing pictures. We want to give that person that experience.
Yeah.
That moment to remember because that might be that moment for them. Talking to them for 5 minutes at the booth. And so just I feel like we owe it to the fans because without the fans, and so they deserve everything we have.
Yeah, you guys for the price, to get in, for your merchandise, which is not an arm and a leg like a lot of other venues. Even the food is priced.
By the way, it's delicious. Cool sports nachos.
Delicious. Yes. Is that Jason Jones' mom, isn't it, I believe? Or
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whole family of excellence.
All right, folks, one more time. Cannonball Mathews. Cannonball, they want to get a hold of you. How do we do it?
Find me on Facebook at Cannonball Mathews. Go ahead and give me a follow. You'll see where I'm coming up next, and come out and see me, and I'll give you a show.
All right. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Cannonball Mathews, August 12th, Springfield Relic Center. Don't miss it. See this man in action. I'm telling you, him and the Arial American, Alan Jefferson, the Fraternity, current, and hopefully, we'll see, remain tag team champions.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming on. Folks, if you're watching, thank you. If you're listening, thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll talk to you soon.